Hey everybody, this is Justin Williams with Gone Laser Games, and today we're doing a review of a 5e product. It's in the Cities of Myth series, and there's actually quite a bit of material in this setting. This adventure is called Corruption Begone. It's by Gabriel Kerr. All of the Cities of Myth stuff is made by Realm Warp Media, and it's available on DrivethruRPG, just like our products at Gone Laser Games are. This adventure is for low-level characters. It's introductory. I think it's mostly appropriate for like second, maybe third level characters, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that. So the first thing that I really like about this adventure is the goal isn't simply a dungeon raid. Yeah, there's a place in the middle chapter to explore. The adventure's separated into 3 different chapters, but you've got a problem in a village and you need to work with a bunch of NPCs to solve that problem. And I like that. It's refreshing. It's not just there's a treasure somewhere, go get it. So that's good. I like that. And the other cool thing about that is because this village where it takes place is kind of the ubiquitous fantasy village that you could find anywhere, right? It would be very common. You could drop this into any setting if you don't want to use the really good setting that's provided. The other thing I really like is all the NPCs are presented with the virtue, ideal, and bond as WotC recommends you do for your characters. And I've never thought of doing this, but it's a really great way to summarize a NPC. I definitely use it for my player characters, but I find that I need to go way beyond these 3 aspects for the player characters. And sometimes I roll them randomly for my PCs, and sometimes I roll them and modify them, and sometimes I pick them. But for NPCs, that's a really good way to quickly summarize what that NPC is up to, in addition to like a picture or a rough description, because it tells you kind of what they need in life or what they're trying to do, and I really like that. The other thing that I really like about this adventure, and there's a ton of stuff in this setting. There's a setting, there are tokens you can buy, there are all kinds of things you can really explore on DrivethruRPG. So if you really get into this setting, you can definitely buy a whole campaign worth of stuff for this setting, which is great. To have options that are this well thought out and this detailed beyond what WotC presents. Not that what WotC has is bad, just that having a whole setting to drop this adventure into is great, and you can get any kind of product a GM or DM would want in this setting. One piece of advice I have for this adventure is that it's really meant for 3rd level characters. It says an introductory adventure, but I took a look at the first encounter in particular, and in the first encounter, to speak vaguely, I believe you're supposed to use a 1 single CR monster and 1 quarter CR monster per PC, and that's about 250 experience points worth of monsters that will straight kill a 1st level party. And so while it's an introductory adventure, that really sounds like it's meant for 3rd level characters to me. I get what the writer was up to in that I tend to, like D&D works in such that you design 8 encounters and you slowly wear down the party over those 8 encounters. I never run it that way either. I prefer, 1 or 2 big fights, and I think that's what they were going for, with time to rest in between. But when you're throwing 250 EXP or 1 1/4 CR monsters per PC, that is not going to work out for a 1st level party. The good news is it's really easy to fix. Just drop the 1 CR monster and instead use 1/4 CR per PC, and that encounter should run great. So the only thing is you should read the encounters if you're going to run this for a 1st level party and think of ways to scale them down. 3rd level party should have no problem with that. 1st level party, those monsters are going to walk through them. So be sure to read all the encounters if you're going to run it for a 1st or 2nd level party, and maybe even play out those fights and check and see how it goes. So I think it's really meant for 3rd level characters. So make sure to kind of think about those fights if you're going to do it beyond or below that level for parties. All right, a couple more things that I really liked about this adventure before I go. I'm really into the art. That is a great feel, and it really goes with the overall themes of the adventure and really adds quite a bit. And the other thing I really liked is the map, the encounter map, or the kind of area you explore map is really wonderful. I could totally be used in other adventures. I mean, it might be worth the $3 just to have access to that map. I can think of lots of things I would have PCs do on that really nice map that could be easily moved over to Roll20, quite easily. Any method to clip an image out of that, and you can totally move that into Roll20 and use it that way. So if you're running this online via Roll20 or even via Discord or something like that, this has everything you need to do that very quickly and very easily. Thanks to Realm Warp Media for providing us a review copy of that very cool adventure. Go check it out on DrivethruRPG. In addition to reviewing stuff, we also make games ourselves. Check out a few of our products as well. We'd appreciate it. These include Tower Beneath the Waves, which is an introductory 5e adventure for 4 to 8 players, levels 1 to 3. To Wander the Fields of Noke, which is a great one-shot. Like if you're missing a player 1 week, this is a great thing to do. It has very dark themes, I will warn you, and provides a set of PCs for folks to play because they might die. Basis for the Weary Adventurer, which is our very small expansion to 5e that has rules for establishing a base, a place for your players to live, and our flagship product, which is Ancient Suns, a sci-fi setting for 5e. It's basically a whole player's handbook that allows you to take 5e and run a sci-fi campaign with really interesting alien species and, of course, humans to play. Check us out on YouTube, check us out on Twitter, and hopefully you'll hear from us soon.